Good afternoon, Kristen Collins on Wellbeing Wednesday, and what a day it is. I very intentionally tried to stay super open this week just to receive whatever message would resonate on this particular Wellbeing Wednesday, the day after our presidential election, an election in general, actually. And it was interesting because I woke up this morning bright and early with incredible clarity. And I wanted to connect with you guys today to share a story that I've just experienced based on putting yourself out there unattached to outcome. And it's, letting go and letting flow and letting the universe guide us and de-stressing by just experiencing life. And the story is about my husband. And I woke up this morning and I kissed him and I was like, may I have your permission to share a story about you in Wellbeing Wednesday? And in true David Collins character, he was like, no. And I'm like, well, too bad I'm going to. So honey, I'm sorry. But the story about you, especially as I was culminating my first draft of my book, Her Phoenix Rising, where there's a lot of talk about letting go and putting yourself out there unattached to outcome. And that was a great lesson that Heather Christie, my dear friend, helped me realize a couple years ago, and it really changed the trajectory of my life. So I'm sharing it with you to celebrate the concept, but also hopefully to inspire it in you, to put yourself out there and accept who you are and love yourself, unattached to the outcome of how that affects and lands on other people and their judgment, which unfortunately happens. So as some of you know, my husband has been serving as an elected official in Southwest Florida for the past 8 years. And it was a great exercise in David putting himself out there. David's a super private guy. He doesn't love show. I talk enough for both of us. So we are yin and yang. And when he was asked to run by the woman who was going to not be running for that seat any longer, and this was about 9 years ago, he was like, no, thank you, no way, not interested in, really exposing myself like that. But literally hours before you had to file back 8 years ago, he decided to go ahead and put himself out there unattached to outcome. And we had amazing support from friends in our community. And in a very short period of time, David was one of the 2 gentlemen elected to the Lee Health Board of Directors. So it has been really cool to watch him serve in that capacity because it's never about him. It is always about listening and then representing what the community at large wants for him to bring to the table. And David brings a compassion and a care for patients and healthcare, but also really married beautifully with financial just amazingness. And, David has changed the trajectory of my life because of how brilliant he is with finances. So he really brings to this $2 billion company a lot of expertise when it comes to finances, also in conjunction with patient safety, patient care, employee well-being, and just a holistic approach. But he really intentionally listens to our community. So it's re-election time. And last cycle, 4 years ago, he and the other gentleman who serve in District 3 were unopposed. So there was no campaigning or anything like that. Well, here we are, fast forward to 2020, and there are 4 people running for the 2 seats. And David really sat on it and contemplated it and was like, I don't know, should I continue to serve? And should somebody else take a turn? It's a lot of work, blah, blah, blah. And he decided to go ahead and run again, putting himself out there unattached to outcome. Amazing attitude. He's like, listen, if the people of this community want me to serve, I'm happy to. And if they don't, that's okay too. I can roll off and, do other things. And I'm just going to give it up to the universe. Partner this with a global pandemic and a lot of economic uncertainty. And did I mention that this year his colleagues elected him chairman of this board? So that happened and about a week before the pandemic hit Southwest Florida, and our hospital had the first death in Florida. So it's been we'll talk about that some other time. Super interesting year. The point I'm trying to make is David decided, because of the economic uncertainty and all of the pain, that he wasn't going to do any asks for funding to fund a campaign. He wasn't going to go out there and raise a bunch of money and ask our friends and our family and our community to financially support this. He was going to just go for it. His name's on the ballot. He did some of the Zooms, town halls with people that asked, but it really was not about him. So yesterday, it was election day, as we all know, and I was like, this is the weirdest thing. I'm not going to watch television. I'm not going to watch a countdown. I'm not going to watch anything. I'm going to make dinner. And for those of you who know me making dinner is kind of funny because I make a mean reservation, not always the best dinner. But last night I made the best dinner, which I'll share the recipe. It was amazing. But anywho, we ended up putting on the television about 8 o'clock, enjoying this amazing dinner that I made, and just the two of us sitting on the couch in awe of the fact that David did not go out there and rally people and ask for, their money to help us win a campaign. David put himself out there and said, I will let the community decide. And about 9:30 last night, he was one of the two people who were reelected to the District 3 board. And I just dreamt and slept on that so soundly last night. And it really inspired me to connect with you guys on Wellbeing Wednesday as a real life, in due time example of someone, happens to be the person closest to me in this world, putting himself out there for the right reasons, unattached to outcome. And he was genuinely going to be okay either way it went. And it was handed to him that he does need to serve in this capacity for another 4 years and that we need him. So A, thank you to everybody who helped support him. And B, honey, I'm so proud of you and your grace and how, you just won a pretty big election without asking people to dig into their pockets and sway votes. You just energetically put yourself out there as the servant leader that you are. And it was never, ever about you. So that's my well-being. There's no spiritual quotes today. Today is all about sitting in the present moment, putting yourself out there, knowing who you are, loving who that is. And I'm going to leave it at that today because there's still so much uncertainty and so much turmoil and so much divisiveness going on. I'm not ready to address that today or talk about it because I want to be sensitive to that, because I know a lot of people are going through a lot of emotions today and will continue to probably for some time now. So I'm not going to ask us to all come together and be one and heal yet. That will definitely, I assume, be a very strong theme in the next few weeks. But for today, I just want to leave you with, on Wellbeing Wednesday, put yourself out there, unattached to outcome. Thank you all. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.